All right, what's up, guys? It's Steven here from Cymatics, and today I'm here with Gabe from Legion Beats.
What's going on?
I am super pumped. We're about to go in.
I'm excited. Let's geek out.
Yeah. For those of you guys who don't know, Gabe is an absolute monster who's made over $1 million selling beats online. He has a crazy formula that I think a lot of you guys need to hear. Almost nobody's doing it in the music industry. And the way he's been able to make money selling beats online is really like a practical formula that I think almost anybody can use. So first thing is, when I heard about this, I was like, dude, I got to get him in here. So he came out here kind of on just a quick whim, you know. I was like, yo, come out here, let's do some content.
We got on the phone, and I bought my ticket like an hour
that
later.
night. Yeah. All right, yeah, and he came out here, and yeah, we just shot a podcast, shooting some content. But one of the things I knew that would be valuable for you guys is doing a workshop on, you know, how to make your first $1,000 selling beats. So I know a lot of people are just trying to get into the game, you know, or haven't done, or maybe made like $20, $50, $100, one or two beat sales, something like that. And I think some of the stuff you're going to be learning in this little workshop here is going to be like, honestly, life-changing. And I've already been, you know, working with him for the past, you know, couple of hours that he's been here. And I mean, learning tons of stuff myself. So I'm really excited about this.
Yeah, man, I'm stoked.
Yeah, let's get right into it. So first, starting off, making $1,000.
Yes.
So that's fat money for a lot of people. Like you and me, been in the game for a while, but like, dude, for somebody to even make $1, I think is impressive with their music.
Yeah.
You want to talk about a little bit about the math behind what it takes to make $1,000 online, so they can kind of break it down into something that's tangible in their heads?
Yeah, for sure. Well, so maybe I think what I'll do is I'll start with the way that almost every producer is selling beats online and show some of the math behind that and why it's such a challenge to make any money or to make good money doing that. Mm-hmm. And I think that'll help frame when we get into the new way and the way that I'm going to show them. Okay, cool. So let's get into kind of like just looking at how most producers sell beats, and we can kind of go from there. So like, okay, so if you think about how most people sell beats, it basically looks like this. They're trying to rank high for certain keywords on YouTube, right? Something like Drake type beat, like whatever's the popular search term. Like I don't know who else. You know, Migos type beat, Post Malone, exactly, right? And that's pretty much the whole game, is like trying to rank for that. And if you rank really high, you're going to get views like this. Like this guy's got 372,000, right? You might even get 500,000, right? Something like that. So let's just use this one example, right? So let's say this guy even got a little bit better. Let's say he got 500,000 views. And like people think like, oh yeah, I can get 1% of people to click on my link. Like the reality is like, the amount of people who click on this is going to be way less than 1%, probably, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I mean, if you think about, like, you know, who's going to be watching this video, like...
That one maybe gets 1,000 or 2,000 clicks max.
Yeah.
I think, in my opinion. Because I've done a lot of stuff with big channels, like really, really big channels, and I've paid big money for it, and it's not as much as you would think.
Right. And this is going directly to a sale, and probably the stuff you're doing with channels is smarter, and there's, you know, anyway. Yeah, exactly. So, like, let's make it easy, right? So let's say 1,000 people click on this link, right? Mm-hmm. So now you've got 1,000 people, usually a pretty good rate of people buying once they get to a page, like a sales page, something where they're going to buy, like that. You know, if you're at 1% or so, then you're actually pretty good, right?
Yeah, so 100%. Now I've done a lot of e-commerce, definitely.
Yeah. Not
as crazy as people would think. Not everybody that goes to a site buys something. If you think
way less than you would.
If you think about people's user experience, think about how many websites you visit on a day-to-day basis and how much you actually buy.
Right.
I don't buy shit online, but every once in a while.
Exactly.
And I visit a hella sites, you know.
Exactly. So like 1% is good, right? So let's just say he's at 1% of that.
So 1,000, so 10 people.
Yeah. So now you're getting 10 sales, right? And maybe on average it's $50, right? Let's say they take this middle one most often, right? Mm-hmm. So now we're talking about $500, right? This guy just made $500 off of this one video, and it's like, that's cool. Like if you can pump out 4 of those a month or whatever, now you're making like a couple $1,000 a month. You could probably quit your job
if you get that, you know.
That's the whole thing, right? These are like the top guys, right? These are the guys who everybody thinks is winning, right? That's like what they're shooting for, is like to make a few $1,000 a month, and like that's cool, like that's great. You know what I mean? That's a great place to start, but like that's only if you're one of the top 10, 20, 30 producers as far as playing this game of ranking for keywords on YouTube. So like that's the top, like if you're playing that game, which most people are, that's your ceiling, and most people are going to be way lower than that, which is why it's like there's so few people making almost any money because they're playing this game, and they're losing from the start. I mean,
dude, compared to the numbers you're showing me, even if you are winning, like, you know, it's not that much. You know?
Yeah, no, exactly. Like they're, you know, that $2,000, $4,000, whatever. Like we've done $200,000 in sales in a week. Like that's stuff that there's no version of this that could come anywhere near that, right? Mm-hmm. So that's the first thing. That's kind of the problem with what most people are doing now, and so like, how do you fix it? Okay, so what's the next thing? So the first thing that you got to do is, instead of having them go directly to your beat store, you want them to opt in. You want to collect that email address, because the value of that is, now that you've collected their email address, now you can start to build that relationship. You can start emailing, building rapport, telling your story, having them know you, like you, trust you, so that now when you offer them something, they're actually going to buy it. They're actually much more likely to buy it, right?
It's like talking to a pretty girl or something and not getting her phone number.
Yeah.
Just never coming back, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly right. Exactly right. And then for these guys who are trying to go for the sale right away, it's like they're like asking her to marry them on the first date or whatever, right? It's like you're messing up on both sides. So that's what it's all about, right? It's all about like developing that relationship. It's taking them through that process, your customer, your potential customer, through that process in the right order. So that's the whole thing. So the first thing that I would do is send them to a page like this, where it's super simple, where it's like, you know, and what we're basically talking about here when we're talking about that customer experience, that customer journey, is creating a sales funnel, right? That's what we're talking about.
That takes them from not knowing you,
right,
to then eventually getting their first stuff for free, I'm guessing, and then eventually buying their first beat.
Yep, exactly. That's exactly right. So like that's the whole funnel concept that we're going to be showing you guys here. So the first page you send them to is like, hey, you want to get their email address, right? So you want to give them something in exchange for that. So like, it's easy. If you're selling beats, like have the thing you give be some non-exclusive license. Like in other industries, like it can be a challenge if you're like, okay, what's like a cool thing I can give away for free that's not going to cost me something, that has enough value to them that they're going to want it, but also qualifies them, where the only people who are going to opt in are the people who are going to be potential customers. Like it's a lot to think about in most industries. If you're selling beats online, it's fucking easy. Just give them some free beats.
Anybody can do this.
It checks all the boxes. Like they're qualified as a potential customer because this is the thing you're going to be selling them, so they want it. And it's something that's of value to them, so they're going to opt in. And it's something that it doesn't cost you anything to distribute some non-exclusive licenses. So like so it's win-win. So I'd send them to a page like this, and the whole thing is like, if you look at this page compared to like a beat store or something like this, like there's all these different menus, there's all this stuff that they can click on. They could click over to your social media, they could go here, they could click this contact button, they
get lost.
They get lost, right? There's all these different options, there's all this different stuff to do. Whereas this is like, it's very simple. You're walking them through it. Like people want to be told what to do. Like it sounds bad, but like they want that direction. And it feels more like exclusive, right? It's like, I used this analogy earlier, but it's like, you know, if you walk into like a store, like a big store, it's like walking to a Costco, walking to like a big warehouse, a Walmart or something, and you just kind of like look around and try to find.
You know, it's a good way to think about this, because I mean, obviously we try to keep our landing pages very simple as well.
Yeah.
Have you ever asked somebody like, hey, where do you want to go out to eat? And they sit there and you just sit there going back and forth for an hour about where you're trying to go out to eat, right, versus, are you trying to go to Chick-fil-A? Are you trying to go to McDonald's? One, I'm giving you one option. It's either yes or no, and it's much easier to either say yes or no. And I think that's what pages like this are amazing about, is that it helps the user say, yeah, I want to download these beats, or I don't. Rather than going all over the place, doing all this stuff, and then you don't end up getting the conversion, the email, and all that great stuff.
Yep, exactly right. Don't. This is like an old marketer's thing. Is like a confused mind says no every time, right? So don't confuse them. Just give them the one option, right? Mm-hmm. And it also is kind of like more exclusive. It's like, hey, it's like you're taking that customer by the hand and like walking them through the process, as opposed to like shoving them into your store and being like, good luck.
Yeah, and plus, people like everybody listening right now, like, you know. Me and Gabe use, I would say, a lot of the similar strategies. Mm-hmm. And like when somebody doesn't know you online, you don't want to like try and like sell them something right away, or like, yo, you trying to buy some beats or something like that. Like it just comes off like somebody knocking on your door in the neighborhood trying to sell you some shit. You don't even know who they are. Like this strategy is so amazing. This is how we really built Cymatics, as well as putting out as much free stuff as possible. The cool part about it is not only do you get your email to market to them, but then it builds your brand. People know you and like you and trust you because they got something for free without you asking for something, which leads to benefits, you know, for a long time, you know?
Yep, exactly right. And it begins this process of climbing people up your value ladder, right? This is a concept of like, so like the first level here is like, they're going to give you their email address in exchange for some free beats. So like that's for them, they're going to be like, okay, cool. I gave them my email and I got some dope beats. Like I was really happy with that exchange. Right. Mm-hmm. So now you can climb them, and we'll show that in a second. Like the next thing, like, hey, I'm going to give you this offer. That's a great offer of more beats or whatever, something that's a great deal. And they're going to be like, okay, cool. Well, last time we did an exchange, I gave him my email address. He gave me some free beats and they were dope. Let me pull out this $19 or $27 or $37 or whatever.
Do you want to show them
Yeah.
real quick the email? I want to show them the actual collection because I think it'd be good for them to see what happens when they click yes, I want my beats.
For sure. So they get here, right? They click on your link. Now, instead of sending them to the beat store, you're sending them here. And they say, yes, I want my beats. And bam, again, there's only one option, right? It's like put in your name, put in your email address, and then click send me my beats or leave. Like those are pretty much the options, right? And it's super simple for them.
Yeah, I think that's super crucial. And then do you want to put it in?
Yeah,
do
for
the next
sure.
page? So they get this. Now, beats have been emailed out.
Yes, exactly.
Because I think it's important people know about this because, I mean, we've made a killing doing this. It's helped us scale up advertising. We spent over $900,000 doing this exact strategy, and you're doing the beat world, so I want to explain this a little bit.
Yeah.
So they just got their download. You just got their email, so it was a great exchange. And now utilizing this next page to give them an offer helps you get a lot of money, right?
Exactly.
So let's go ahead and talk about this page.
Yeah, for sure. So a lot of this stuff is important to know how you word stuff, right? Like copywriting, we've been talking about, like what's the language you actually use on the page? Because that makes all the difference. That's how you're communicating to them. That's how you're going to have them take the actions that you want them to take, right? So like here you can see it's like congrats. So you're saying like, hey, good job. You should feel good about that. Your beats will be in your inbox in the next 15 minutes. But first watch this short video showing you how to get the most out of your beats. So like the thinking here is not, and I'm going to offer them something. The thinking here is not like, haha, I tricked you. Like that thing was free, but here, now I'm going to sell you something, right?
I like this. This looks like it seems more valuable.
Yeah, exactly. Right, exactly. It's that positioning of like, okay, cool. Like, the beats will be in my inbox in the next 15 minutes, so I'm not going to go check it right now. I'm going to stay on this page for right now. And yeah, I want to know how to get the most out of my beats. Like, that sounds good. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And then from there, it's like, cool, now you have an opportunity to give them an offer, right? And so that can be, you can structure this different ways. I've done a couple different versions of this, but like the example on here is like giving them more beats and bundling it with a few different things. Mm-hmm. So like right here, I think it's important to kind of talk about the difference between a beat or a beat lease, which is like a commodity, and putting together a true offer. So like if you think about like what's a commodity? A commodity is like gasoline or like orange juice or something, right? Something you can get anywhere for basically the same price. Yeah, for cheap, right? So if you think about like how do you decide where you're going to fill up your tank of gas, it's probably like whatever's the cheapest or really the most convenient, right? Whoever's on the corner. Mm-hmm. Right? And so if you're selling a commodity, it's pretty much all you have to compete on is like you better be that guy on the corner because that's the only way you're going to win.
A lot of the cheap beats still sound great nowadays because there's so many great producers,
Exactly. So you're not going to win on price. Yeah. So that's pretty much out for us. So the only way if you're selling a commodity is to win on convenience, right? And so guess what? This dude right here, these guys who are showing up, they're winning on convenience. They're the gas station that happens to be on the corner because somebody types in Drake type beat and they show up. So cool, they're winning on convenience, right? But like we need to be smarter than them, right?
Sell them something much better and bigger.
Exactly. So instead of a commodity, how do you create an offer? The way that you create an offer is, first of all, get clear about who your customer is. Who is your ideal customer? Like get in their heads, like think about who is that person, really paint a picture, like give them a name, give them a story, understand what are their fears, what motivates them, what are the things that they want, what are the things that they need. And now using that information, create a bundle of products and services that's going to appeal to that customer avatar, to that person, right? So then it becomes like, okay, I can sell a beat lease, but everybody's selling a beat lease, so that's a commodity. But I can create an offer here of like...
Yeah, let's go through your offer. I think that'd be huge.
Yeah, so like right here is one, and this is just an example, but like, hey, you get not just one beat, but you get 20 beats. So now it's like not just one beat, it's like enough beats for your whole album, right? Mm-hmm. In this case, it's like I'm also showing about, hey, you can upgrade and you can get untagged beats with tracked out stems, unlimited licenses, right? So now that's still kind of the same thing, but better, right? Then you can do stuff like this where you work with other producers, let's say, and you'd be like, plus you're going to get 10 beats from these 2 other producers that I've teamed up with, right?
Yeah.
Plus you're going to get a shout out on my Instagram to all your followers. Right, and there's so much stuff you could do. You could be like, hey, plus I created a course, just think about your customer avatar. If it's a rapper, plus I created a course about how to freestyle better. Plus I put,
Makes it more valuable.
It makes it more valuable, exactly. It stacks on the value, and it makes it something where they can know this is a bundle of products and services that they can't get anywhere else. It's not a commodity anymore.
So in general, it's hard to win on just selling a beat these days online.
It's really, really hard, yeah. Because you're selling commodity, you're selling gas, right?
And plus, you get all this stuff for only $27.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like it's a no-brainer deal for them because it's on the cheap side. So you definitely want this first offer that they see to be, low cost. I would say anywhere from, 10 to 40 or probably, maybe 50 on the high, but probably 10 to $40 is like the in that zone that I would say where like they don't have to think about it too much. They'll pretty much do it. And stack on that value and just think about like what are all the things that your ideal customer wants or needs, and what are the things that you can provide for them that you can do at a point where it increases the value, but ideally doesn't create a bunch of work for you, right?
Yeah, and also I want to say with this thing, guys, so think about this. This allows you as the producer to focus on getting beats out there for free, building value with the community, collecting emails so you grow bigger and bigger, so you can, when you release more stuff, you have people to email. But the beauty about that is that a percentage of those people who download the free stuff and enjoy your brand will now, like you can see on his page, be turned into like, X amount of people end up buying off this thank you page strategy. Same thing we did at Cymatics. We've done it a ton. You get free packs and we'll offer you some awesome offer for like $7, $17, whatever it may be. Yep. And a lot of people like to bite on that stuff. And the cool part is that this allows you to do two things. One, collect emails, get the free stuff, and make some of that cash on the back end. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't know about how important back end sales are, and having some of these funnels set up to actually collect cash. It's like a cash net that you're putting in this this river of traffic and people, you know? And a lot of people who set up, on other sites and stuff don't have these capabilities. They're just selling one-off commodities that not only are they just a beat, but they're also, they can't even include all this other stuff and have these fancy ways to do it.
That's right. And and that back end sales thing is so important. It's something that most people don't get because they just see the front end. All they see is the ad and then the free thing, or the ad in the first sale, and they think that that's the whole business, but you're missing out. Like, that's the tip of the iceberg. Like, the whole iceberg down here is the business. You know what I mean? Like, you don't even know, like, God, we run a bunch of ads, right? So we get so many producers who are like either mad at us or like feel sorry for us, like, oh, like you're giving away free beats, like you're selling yourself short, like you're better than that, or even more common, like, bro, you're ruining it for the rest of us, like you guys are making it so that like, nobody buys beats anymore, and like it's like, no, you don't understand, like all you're seeing is the tip of the iceberg. Like, ironically, like we're the guys making more money than almost anybody selling beats online, but what most producers see on the front end is they see that ad or whatever and they think we're broke or whatever. They think like, we're not making any money. We're making it harder for other people to make money. It's like, no, like just watch, like take in the game. Like this is how you actually make money.
Yeah. So now somebody comes in for free, and at first, you have a chance to make $0. All of a sudden on this page, you have a chance of making 27.
Yeah.
Small amount of people give you $27 for this. Okay.
Yep.
But I think one of the cool things that you've done a great job is finding more ways to make some money on the back end of that. So you want to talk about upsells and how once they've decided to spend 27, you also have the opportunity to sell them on something even higher, which has probably been a bulk of your cash, right?
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah, the money maker. Is there any way you can pull up those pages and talk a little bit about what an upsell is, or at least a basic idea of it?
Yeah, so like here's a page that this would be an upsell, right? So this would be like after somebody purchased something, it's like, hey, here's another opportunity to buy something else, right? It's sort of similar, like you go to Amazon, it says, oh, people are interested in this, we're also interested in this, kind of that type of idea, right? But a little bit more structured, where it's like, again, it's that funnel concept of like, on this page, all you can do is say yes or no to this offer, right? And again, it's a real offer. It's not a commodity. I'm not saying, hey, do you want another beat lease, or do you want like a buy one get four free?
Here
so this one happens to be a buddy of mine named Cosmo is a producer, and he's signed to Taylor Gang. So the sort of hook here is like, would you like to be one of the first independent artists ever to work with Wiz Khalifa's personal in-house producer, Cosmo? Sort of the hook here is like, he's like really an industry dude. He's never really sold his beats online. So I got together with him. We did a beat pack. It's kind of showing some social proof. Hey, here he is hanging out with Wiz Khalifa and Ty Dolla and whatever. But then again, even that, like just that beat pack would be dope. Like that's still an offer that's more than a beat lease. But even then, I still tacked on the value. And again, I was like, okay, cool, got the beat pack. But like in this case, it was like the beat pack plus, what are we kind of selling here is like, well, we're selling like industry access. Right, that's kind of the concept. So it's like, okay, cool. We included like a little, Legion Black Book, the Legion and Cosmo's personal list of industry contacts, right? Like just a cool little simple add-on with just like some emails and phone numbers of people that could be, useful to them, right? Just stacking on the value, just adding to that offer.
Still always making it cooler than just a beat.
Exactly.
It's funny. We do the same thing with like, instead of packs, we do packs. We add on courses. We do bonuses, MIDI files, vocals. Live streams, a Facebook group. Like, dude, the reason we've made so much money is because we've taken something that, other companies have just done, is just sell like samples, and we've made this entire production suites that are almost, we want to call them experiences. Like we don't even feel like we sell sample packs a lot of times. It's more of like especially when we do one of our big launches.
Yeah.
It's an experience. You get all this different shit. You know what I'm saying? And that's the reason people are willing to spend, $200, $300, $400 on our big launches is because we're including so much extras. And I think you've done the exact same thing with selling beats, and I think it's fucking awesome.
Totally. It's about stacking on that value. It's that's how you differentiate yourself from being that commodity where like there's other people who sell sample packs and stuff, right?
Yeah.
But there aren't other people who are selling your offer. Like nobody else is doing that. Right?
No, for sure. So it looks like you got a bunch of awesome stuff here.
Yep.
So what is this? How much does this cost for them to buy this upsell?
So this one I have basically I have them at two prices. So I have like the basic and the unlimited. So I've got a 57 and a 97 right here.
And most people pick 97.
Yeah, we got more than half picking.
Okay, so now somebody's gone from downloading something for free to spending $27 to now spending another 97, which is what, 134?
Let's just say 124, something like that.
124. So now a potential chance of making $124.
Right.
And for everybody watching, you do two of these upsells, right? We don't have to go through both of them. But...
Yeah, I'll do two upsells. Usually I'll do about two upsells.
Okay, cool. So you're going to upsell them 2 times as well as, give them that low irresistible offer, constantly stacking these offers. But when you guys stack these offers, I mean, there's a chance sometimes to make $200-$300 on one little freebie funnel, right?
Absolutely.
Coming in for a freebie, and then a lot of times people are walking out $200-$300 worth of stuff. You ever gone to the mall? You only expected to buy one thing. You found out some shit was on sale, and then you came out with a bunch of different stuff.
Yep.
That basic consumer psychology is super important when it comes to selling. This is why a lot of people don't have traction. They're not doing these kinds of strategies, and I think that incorporating this will instantly make your beats seem way more valuable, make people want to buy, and you have an actual roadmap to getting people to buy. You know, and of course, setting some of this stuff up is going to be a headache at the beginning. Don't get me wrong, but was it worth it?
Bro, I mean, I've literally made over $1 million selling beats online. Like that's something that it's like hard to believe for most people because most people are trying to do it this way. And if you try to do it this way, it is almost impossible, but you do it this way and it is.
Yeah, no, exactly. And then so now, we're talking about making your first $1,000. I mean, the reason I wanted him to do this is a practical roadmap. You know what I'm saying? This is a practical, like, sweet. You just get a bunch of free downloads. A certain amount of those people are going to then buy your $27. And then out of that, they can have a chance of spending an extra, let's say, $100 even. So potential, $100 to $200 extra. You get 10 of those guys. That's your $1,000.
Yeah.
And Gabe here has done it a repeated amount of times, and has now gotten over $1 million. And just to give you guys a heads up, this is not even just the music industry. I mean, everything from the makeup industry, the information business industry, like so many people, clothing lines are upselling. That's, so many different industries are doing this technique. And I think that's one of the takeaways that Gabe and I were talking a lot about in the podcast was studying these other industries to learn this information because like this is where the sauce is, like it's not the music industry. The way people are doing is not that good, and that's why I love personally like seeing this and seeing this kind of practical roadmap. And by the way, this is a deep world, and I want people to know that. Gabe is just lightly brushing over an awesome strategy. It's going to be your job to go put in the hours to really dive down deep and learn the mechanics about why all this works. There's a bunch of great information online. That's kind of one of the purposes with this workshop is to open your eyes to this.
Yeah.
And so you can start studying it more when you see it, like out in the internet and stuff, and then also like so you can go out and study it actively and go deeper. So cool. Another thing I want to say, so we kind of went over the funnel, exactly how you're kind of cashing in on turning just random free emails into obviously a chance to get big ticket, $200-$300 orders.
Yeah.
So 2 things that go really great with this, and I'll add a little bit on the organic side because I think that's something we've done a lot of, but specifically paid ads. Mm-hmm. You're one of the only people that knows about paid ads,
Yeah.
Good. Like everybody I talk to, nobody knows anything about, doing paid advertising, and you got a lot of traffic that you've been driving into this.
Yes.
And being profitable.
Yes.
So you want to talk a little bit about, you don't have to go super deep into the ads manager stuff, but show people what kind of ad you're running, and then you're leading to those free things, but show them what the ad looks like, what they see on Facebook.
Yeah. I mean, I'll just say one thing, as far as like Facebook ads and stuff, like it's frustrating. Like there's so many people that I hear, like even some of like the how to sell beats gurus guys or the producer influencer guys, like who are like, oh yeah, I tried using Facebook ads. They don't really work. Like,
That's like people saying, yeah, I tried to use FL Studio. It didn't really work.
Right.
You have to go so deep. You have to put hours in.
Exactly right. It's like, no, you just suck at it. You just haven't put in the time.
Dude,
so
I feel so strong about that.
Yeah, and it's like honestly, that shit, it's so frustrating because it's like gross negligence. Like, you're telling people to pass up one of the biggest opportunities that we have right now.
I've roasted artists that have said that on status. It's like, dude, don't buy Facebook ads. I'm like, bro, you don't know what the fuck you're doing.
Yes.
Straight up. I was like, I've spent over $900,000. I built a large business. I started with $5 a day in Facebook ads.
Yep.
I played that shit and it worked.
Exactly right. It's literally one of the biggest opportunities that we have available to us at this time. Like, who knows? Facebook ads in a year, and 2 years, and 3 years might suck. Yeah. Right now, they're amazing.
And the reason it's amazing, guys, for letting you guys out there, if you don't have a big audience and stuff, you can pay Facebook $100, and if you have this funnel set up correctly, you can make $100 back. But so then that's equals zero profit. But the beauty of that is that you may have gotten 20 or 30 customers. And those 20 or 30 customers will buy your next set of beats. So the profits come in the long term of getting customers.
Absolutely. Yeah. And just to clarify too, like, we say Facebook ads because like the Facebook ads manager is in Facebook, but like Mark Zuckerberg owns Facebook. He owns Instagram. They bought WhatsApp.
WhatsApp's going to be coming soon.
Yeah, that's going to be huge. They've got this thing called the Audience Network where your stuff shows up on different websites. It'll show up in games. Like,
dude, my ads I've run on Facebook will show up on Tinder.
Yeah,
people
like, totally. It shows up in apps. It shows up in games.
All kinds of stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So like,
it's a great opportunity to make some money.
It's crazy. There's like, I think between all of them, you can reach something like 3 billion people, which is like what, half the population of Earth. This planet, right? So like,
yeah, you want to talk about so this ad you're running on Facebook right now, and let's
exactly. And this is running, just to clarify, this is running on Facebook, like we just pulled it up on Facebook, but this is also running on Instagram. This is also running on the Audience Network, so showing up on, showing up on Tinder.
Yeah, it automatically places, like the way the ads network works, it'll automatically place it in different spots. So
exactly.
You're gonna read what the ad says? I think that
for sure.
Be good.
So yeah, so what I've got here, so calling out my audience first is a good one. Like, hey, rappers and singers, like, yo, that's who I'm talking to, right? That's a good little trick. And then like, hey, it's Gabe from Legion Beats. I've worked with artists like Kendrick Lamar, French Montana, Snoop, Tech Nine, and a lot more. So like right here, I'm introducing myself. So it's a personal thing. It's not just like, hey, we're just a logo or something. I'm saying who I am. Obviously, I'm giving some proof that we're established in some kind of way. Even if you don't have those credits, it doesn't matter. You could say something like, "Hey, I've been producing and engineering for 10 years," or "Hey, I've worked with."
Whatever. What's your highlights? Throw your highlights on there. Yeah.
Whatever it is, it doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be that you have credits or whatever. So for me, I say I've made it my mission to give you the same opportunities to independent artists like you that are usually just for the major label artists. So like for me, this is my story, right? So it makes sense for my brand. But you just figure out what works for you. Like, play to your strengths, right? So maybe like, hey, I'm an independent producer. I take the time to work with every single artist, individual, like whatever is your strength.
I've spent the last 3 years working in my studio, and what I've been making recently has been game changing. So I finally decided to come out and give out some free beats. So I think you're really gonna love this.
Write that down.
I'm the copywriter.
Write that down.
I'm copywriting master.
Yes, that was fire right there. Seriously, just use that.
That's all reluctant hero. Like, people don't understand the power of the reluctant hero or all that. Like, little copywriting details. Like, you almost come out as a guy who doesn't want to sell his beats. Like, look, I was just working in the lab, and the reaction I was getting from so many people is insane that I've decided, like, they talked me into it. So, I'm putting up some of these ads and see if people are interested, but honestly, they sound insane. And people are like, fuck.
Yeah. No, that's perfect.
Gotta get good at that copywriting, man.
Do that. So this one says, that's why I'm offering 5 of our best beats and hooks to you for free with commercial rights. I'm ready to work. Let's connect. In this case, I'm sending them to Messenger, so it says hit send message. But you can just say, hey, click the link, and it'll go to your opt-in page, that we talked about.
Lead them here.
Yeah.
To the free email page.
To the free email page, exactly.
And then from there, as you say, like, so let's say you spend $100 on Facebook, you have a chance of getting that cash back.
Absolutely. And you can do it profitably, too. Like, I have a lot of these that are going where it's profitable, where I'm making my money immediately back and sometimes even making profit. And the beauty of that is now I'm growing my email list. I'm growing my customer list. I'm making some money. And now I'm going to continue to email them and tell them about, hey, well, I also have this membership. Hey, I also have this next beat pack coming out. Hey, I also have this next thing. And all of that is positive return on that ad spend.
Dude, that's fucking amazing. And us is the similar story in the production world. Learning this stuff and then figuring out how, tying it with your passion, production for used beats, and then figuring out a way to make money. And the cool part about this thing is, guys, like, you could do this for so much different stuff. Mixing and mastering service. You offer a free PDF guide, and then you say, hey, guys, by the way, if you want me to master 5 of your songs, I'll charge you, I'll do it for $97, right? But then all of
Right.
a sudden you tie in more offers, or here's a mastering course. You can do it mixing services, you can do it ghost production, like this strategy is like a framework that you can use in a lot of different stuff. I think that's the reason why it's actually really valuable.
Definitely.
I mean, you might not be doing, like, in 10 years, you could be doing something completely different, but at least you know the foundational skills to, like, be able to set up a funnel and make cash.
Exactly right. And I'll say something too about like what you include in your offer, like including different things. Some people are like, well, I don't know, all I do is make beats, like, and that's fine. Like, first of all, like you probably do some other stuff, so you can figure that out too. But you can also team up with other producers to do different stuff, or find somebody who already created that course and just be like, hey, like, do some kind of deal with them, like, hey, can I include your course with my offer? And a lot of times they're like, yeah, I made that course a year ago, like,
fuck it.
just
People have asked me to include. I'll just give it to them. I'm like, yeah, I'm
right,
okay, man.
Yeah, because if anything, it gets your
More
stuff
exposure
in
to
front
customers.
of those people, right? So it's win-win. So don't feel like you have to be able to you yourself have to be doing everything that's in that offer. You can connect with other people and include their stuff in your offer as well.
Cool. And just to take a quick transition, I think something else that's be great to talk about is a little bit the organic side.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
These strategies, guys, you can do it with the paid ads, which I recommend playing with money, maybe even like $5 to $10 a day. Kind of starting to mess around with it, and just, it's okay if you lose money for a little bit. You're investing for the long term of figuring out the funnels, tweaking stuff, seeing what's working, because once you find that formula where you put in $10 and get back 12, guess what? You keep doing it till you got a fucking $1 million like this guy.
Exactly right.
And the other thing I wanted to say was, you can do this on Facebook, Instagram, Facebook groups, YouTube. You can put out these free resources organically. You can make posts. You can build a following and tell your followers, hey, go check out my link. You can grab this stuff for free. You see Cymatics, we do a lot of this stuff. You do a lot of stuff. It also works organically. So even when you're not paying for the ads, like for me, I use my Instagram all the time to promote free stuff, get them down a funnel, and just have a bunch of awesome offers along the way. And that's a cool way for us to put out free stuff for the community and even make money on the back end.
Right.
So I think that even thinking from an organic perspective, so many people could benefit. I've even gotten to the point, guys, where I've got some funnels that are so good. Dude, I've done cool hacks where I'll pay YouTubers like $500 to do a video to promote my free thing. And guess what? They'll get like 100,000 plays on their video. I'll get back 5,000 opt-ins. The amount of people that buy the tripwire pays for the 500. So I have a free video, I have a free 100,000 plays, and I have a free 5,000 opt-ins. And I've done that dozens of times. Just getting creative with your marketing.
Gold. It's gold.
Sweet. Yeah, man. I think this is a wrap, dude. I think people are going to see this as one of the most valuable videos, because I feel like you just took off the curtain.
Yeah.
To a secret that a lot of people just haven't seen or been introduced to yet,
Yeah, bro. Most people are not doing this. It's very, very few people, at least as far as selling beats, that are doing this.
Mm-hmm.
I do think it's going to increase, eventually, like, people are going to figure this out. But if you're implementing this stuff right now while you're watching this, like, you're going to be so ahead of the curve. You're going to be ahead of 99% of
Can we give some
right
realistic expectations? Because I don't want people to think they're going to get rich quick because they heard this. If you're watching this and you're like, yeah, I'm going to be getting $1 million, I mean, you got to hustle your face off. So don't think that this is like don't think Gabe just set this thing up and got all his money. I'm sure you've tested 1,000 different funnels. You've tried a lot of different shit. You probably did try the tight beat stuff on YouTube and all that.
Oh, yeah.
Route. So what's some realistic expectations? So if they get in the game, they're putting a lot of hours into it, how quickly can they start making money? What, is it going to be a slow growth thing? Can we talk a little bit about expectations so we can set it right with them?
Yeah, I mean, it's tricky, man, because there's so many variables, right? Like when somebody starts, let's say I'm helping somebody out with this stuff, like I never like to say like, oh yeah, you're going to make this much money in this much time, because there's too many variables. But like, I would say, like, for one thing, like, don't focus too much on the money at first. Like, focus on like getting those leads, focus on like learning how to get that traffic in there, like using influencer marketing, some of the stuff you were talking about, using ads, like whatever it is, like getting some people in there, getting some leads, starting to develop that relationship. Like, start by worrying about that anyways first, before you even worry about the money. Mm-hmm. And then, yeah, as far as expectations, I mean, it's going to come down to numbers a lot of times. So like, if you set this up right, then, you could expect that whatever, we were talking about percentages of people who buy on a sales page. Maybe it's 1%, 4%, something like that are going to buy on that sales page. So you have to think, okay, if like 1 to 4% are buying, that means out of every 100 people, if you get 1 or 2 people to buy, that's a good thing. Like, you're going to be profitable. Yeah. But a lot of people, like, they might start to set something like this up, and then they have 50 people who see it and nobody bought yet, and they're like, oh, this sucks, it doesn't work. It's like, bro, you don't even know if it works yet.
So I got two things. I got 2 things that are good for people, because, dude, when I first started Cymatics, was it 4 years ago now at this point? We were at the back of a organic grocery store, my aunt's grocery store, just sitting in the back, like, working on our computers. The first day we started Cymatics, we put out free stuff. We did this day one. So we put out free stuff, and then we were trying to collect emails, and then we made like 1 sale. $87. It was life changing. Like, holy shit. We have our computers. We made money. It almost felt like cheating. I don't know if you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, it's great. It's
and
great.
Then the next day somebody bought something because like this is like a machine, guys. Once it's set up, it collects money while you're sleeping. I remember.
That's right.
I literally woke up in the middle of the night to use the bathroom. I'm sitting on the toilet and $87 comes in.
Right.
I kid you not. And I had this moment where I was like, dude, I was literally just sitting on the toilet and made $87. It's a funny moment, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it was like a what that, or like waking up and be like, man, I was sleeping last night. We did 3 sales, you know?
Totally.
And I think 2 things that's really important that helped us a lot in the early days, guys. 1, track how many emails you collect. Every day, try to collect 10 emails, 20 emails, 30 emails. That's a good marker for success. That means people are downloading your free stuff and they're enjoying your brand, okay? And then after you collect emails, the other thing, just go for a sale a day. Try to pay for your coffee that day. Try to pay for your lunch that day. Because 1 sale becomes 2 sales, and then 2 sales, 0 sales, and then 2 sales, and then 1 sale, and then eventually you get up to 3. And you're like, boom, a new record. And every day you try to just stack on, get a little bit of extra sales. And if you hustle at it, that's literally what happened with Cymatics, you know? And we just had, explosive growth essentially by doing this exact stuff, you know? And it's cool to see somebody doing it with beats because I think a lot of people aren't necessarily trying to start sample pack companies like us. You know, we obviously do different products in the production where a lot of people are trying to sell beats in our community and showing them that it also works in this perspective, I think is fucking amazing. Cool.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, dude. I think that's a wrap, dude.
Yeah,
Thanks
awesome.
for sharing that, man. That was that was a sauce, guys. That was. You guys need to rewatch this video 1,000 times. Real quick here, let me give 2 different plugs.
Mm-hmm.
One, make sure you follow Gabe here on socials. He's got Legion Beats, and he's gonna have Gabe, right?
Yes, we'll figure out what the handle's gonna be. But Legion Beats for now.
Yeah, check. You know, there's gonna be a link in the description. What else? Also, if you guys have any questions, please drop a comment in the description. I'm going to make sure and call Gabe every day I see a new comment. I'm going to make him go through and answer everybody, provide value to you guys. So if you guys have questions about this funnel and this stuff, he will be going through. I'll be answering some questions as well.
Yep.
So be sure to do that. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and peace out.